Bhajare mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare
Bhajare mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare
Bhajare mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Dulabha manava janama satsange
Dulabha manava janama satsange
Dulabha manava janama satsange
Dulabha manava janama satsange
Karo he baba sindure
Karo he baba
Sita chapa pachavari sana edina jamini yagire
Sita chapa pachavari sana edina jamini yagire
Sita chapa pachavari sana edina jamini yagire Vipale se vino, vipana jorjana.
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 Bhajahu haribha, sukalava lagire.
Chapala sukalava lagire.
Chapala sukalava lagire.
Chapala sukalava lagire.
Jana yovana uchapari jana ejeke achipara chitire.
Jana yovana uchapari jana ejeke achipara chitire.
Jana yovana uchapari jana ejeke achipara chitire. Kamala jala jala, divana chala mala.
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 Bajaho hari pada, nikire.
Bajaho hari pada, nikire.
Bajaho hari pada, nikire.
Bajaho hari pada, nikire.
Bhavana kirtana, marana vandana, Parasevana dachyare.
Ravana kirtana, marana vandana, padasevana dasare.
Ravana kirtana, marana vandana, Parasevana dachyare.
Ravana kirtana, marana vandana, padasevana dasare.
Sasaki jana, nani vedana.
Pujana saki jana, nivedana.
Pujana saki jana, atmani vedana.
Pujana saki jana, nivedana.
Govinda dasa vihasare.
Govinda Jagati Asare.
Govinda dasa vihasare.
Govinda Jagati Asare.
Translation. Prabhupada liked this song by Govinda Das because he says it's giving the positive side, sweetly glorifying the Lord, but on the other side it's pointing out the disadvantages of material life, which is good for us to remember because otherwise we may think we can just remain here in this world and be happy. Translation? We don't have a
You can read,
translation?
Maharaj.
I,
You want to read? You can read. O mind, just worship the lotus feet of son of Nanda, which makes one fearless.
okay, let's stop. That's good. So here, the poet is telling us we should worship Krishna's feet, son of Nanda, right? To make us fearless. The problem is, this is the opposite of Vaikuntha. It's Kunta, a place of anxiety, especially on your roads, my God. This is a cultural shock for me to come on this road tonight. The way people drive, it's like, how can you not be in anxiety? The whole place is full of anxiety. This is the material world. It's saturated with anxiety. Why is that? Because we can die at any moment. And we know that. And there's so many examples. Young people, old people, we can die in a minute. So therefore, we should be serious about worshipping the son of Nanda, Krishna, to remove us from any anxiety. Okay, next.
Having obtained the rare human birth, cross over this ocean of world existence through the association of saintly persons.
So this is a very good advice also. The human form of life is special in that we can inquire. Atata Brahma Jigyasya. Who am I? Why do I suffer? Animals can't inquire. So we have human form of life. We should take advantage of it and don't remain just like polished animals with the same business, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. How are we different than animals? The only difference is we have this developed consciousness. We can inquire, who am I? Why is there so much suffering in this world? Why is there so much quarrel? Do we have the answers to all these questions? Not we, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling us, yes. The trouble is, everybody is born in false ego. That's why we left the spiritual world. We wanted to put ourselves in the center. And don't we see it in our little children? Naturally they want to be in the center. They don't care if they disturb 100 people on the plane. They want what they want when they want it. And that's the law. The parents have to deal with that. Especially the mothers. The mother is the first guru. No, you can't beat your brother just because you're bigger than him. You have to learn. Next.
Both in the day and at night, I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of heat and the cold, and the wind and the rain.
For a better flickering happiness,
For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served the wicked and miserly men.
so this is our position. To get money, we have to become beggars. Oh, please, yeah, I'll drive your rickshaw. And then so much trouble is there. Because in Kali Yuga, practically everybody is Sudra. Maybe a few Vaishyas. But otherwise, everybody is getting salary. Even a big PhD. They have to go, wag their tail. Please hire me. Prabhupada told a story of one Brahmin that he knew from Calcutta. So he was on hard times, he had no money. What he would do, he would go to the sabji market in the morning, and get some sabji, go in the neighborhood, call out, sell the sabji, had a little rice and dal, and that was it. He wouldn't work for anybody. As soon as you work for somebody, you're a Sudra, according to real calculation. You may have PhD, you may be big IBM or something, but still, the boss is coming, I want you to do this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wagging your tail. Yes, sir, I'll do whatever you say. So we're saying, no. The high class people shouldn't do that. They should be independent. Next.
What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari.
Nice poetry, water on a drop of a lotus leaf. It can go a little wind and it's finished. Similarly, a little accident and then we're finished. Especially on your roads here. No, I mean, it's not even a joke. I mean, we did a statistic. There's like 500,000 people a year die on your road. And so, that's a lot of people. We figured out how many a day. We calculated how many a day. You divide 500,000 by 3. Anyway, a lot of people, 45 people a day or something or more. In other words, just that since we've been here, some people have died on your road. They didn't expect to die. They were going out, so the point of it, again, like water on a lotus petal, can be finished. And what do? We surround ourselves with family, we think they'll protect us. You know why we think like that? Because we're cuckoo. We're crazy. The family can't protect you. When your time is there, Yamaraj comes right in and takes you out. This is our condition here. Therefore, we should finish up our business here and go back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada was always teaching us, don't get attached to the material world. Then you have to stay here, because attachment, desire, these things will keep you here. But everybody's attached. That's a fact. Oh, my grandchild, I love him so much. Okay, then if you get that kind of attachment and you die, then you get another family. But we want to get out of this material world. This is what Krishna is advising. You can transcend this material world. Brahma bhuta prasanatma na sochati na kanchati samasavesu bhutesu mad bhaktim labate. If you become Krishna's devotee, then you don't have to come back to this place of birth and death. Otherwise, desire will bring you back. Oh, I had such a nice family. And then in the next life, you'll get another family. It won't be the same people, but you'll get another family. We give the example like you're on the highway, because you don't have very many highways here, but in the West we have highways that are going for miles and miles. And on the way there's a restaurant attached to the highway. You get petrol and you can come in. And then you come in there, okay, fill up your car, and go and have some food. And you're sitting next to somebody else who came from the highway also. And you can strike up a conversation and be friendly. And then you get in your car and you go your way. He gets in his car, he goes his way. You never see them again, ever. So families like that, we take it so important, but as soon as the body, we're finished, then we go to another family. Therefore we want to join Krishna's family. He's ready to accept us. But we have to become like he is, pavitram. We have to become pure. Therefore, we accept on the order of the spiritual master, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating. If you want to be initiated, you have to make a vow to follow these things. So that way, more people don't come, but that's okay. Prabhupada didn't want it. A mass movement. No beaties, no coffee, tea. And so it's hard. But the result is we get Krishna. Krishna becomes our order carrier. Like Yudhisthira told him, bring a message to Duryodhana. Krishna is the order carrier. Arjuna said, here, turn left with the chariot. Krishna becomes... So it's not a cheap thing. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is going to be under our control to some degree. Out of love. Therefore, one thing is stronger than Krishna. Devotional service. Pure devotion controls Krishna. The elderly gopis, sometimes they're playing with Krishna and they're clapping their hand and moving their body. And Krishna's following them. He's also clapping his hand, moving his body. He's being controlled by them. Out of love. So love is the highest thing. But these are monists, they want to eliminate. We all become one. There's no more duality. But love means two. Beloved and the lover. And even more than that, there's the third thing is devotional service. That's also eternal. Good evening, gentlemen. Bye-bye. So we can remain in this world by desire, or by desire we can go back to the spiritual world. Desire is in our hand. Nobody can make us desire. The children, we try to give them a good example. We try to tell them, you chant. But ultimately, they're going to decide they want to be devotees or not. You can't force them. Even Prabhupada's son can become a devotee. This is the reality. Each one of us are individuals, and we have minute independence. It really consists of turning to God or turning away from God. So it's our choice. What do you want? Okay? We finished?
One more thing. It is a desire and great longing of Govinda Das to engage himself in the 9 cause of Bhakti, namely hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting those glories.
Shravanam Kirtanam.
Yes, ma'am.
Next.
Constantly remembering him and offering prayers to him, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping him with flowers and incense and so forth, serving him as a friend and completely offering the Lord one's very self.
Atmani Vedanam. That is the spontaneous state. We don't think that we're offering something to Krishna because we've already given ourselves to Krishna. So he can do whatever he wants with us. We're a sold out animal. The animal, even here you have some pet animals, I see. You're walking the dog. So he's under the control of the master. So we want to be like that. This is our dog tag. This neck bead, sometimes we consider it like a collar, like a dog collar. So we're happy to be Prabhupada's dog. Yes, we're happy. And if he wants us to roll on our back, we can do that also, like a dog. This is the mood of the devotee. We have implicit faith. I have implicit faith with Srila Prabhupada. He was my well-wisher. I saw that. He signed every letter, you're ever well-wisher. He was never envious of anybody. So why wouldn't I want to please him? Because he told us, yes, you can be like me. We can't be him. That the Mayavadi philosophy thinks you can become Krishna. No. Krishna is Krishna, Prabhupada is Prabhupada. We can't become them, but we can become like them. We can become their servant and get their mercy and their blessing. And then the future is very bright. Okay, let's do one verse from Bhagavad Gita. Thank you. Well, I was going to read chapter 10, text 10. There are 4 nutshell verses starting with 10:8. We did that the other night. And then last night we had 10:9. So tonight I'm going to read from, there's a very important verse. Prabhupada often quoted it, and you'll see why. Tesham Saratayuktanam, chapter 10, text 10. Tesham Saratayuktanam.
Tesham Satatayuktanam.
Tesham Saratayuktanam.
Tesham Satatayuktanam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tvam.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tvam.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Tesham Saratayuktanam.
Tesham Satatayuktanam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tvam.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Bolo.
Tesham Satatayuktanam.
Tesham Saratayuktanam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tvam.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Tesham Satatayuktanam.
Tesham Saratayuktanam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Bhajatam Priti Purvakam.
Dadadi Buddhi Yogam Tam.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Yena Mam Upayanti Te.
Tesham Satatayuktanam.
Tanam.
Tesham Satatayuktanam.
Tesham Sadatayuktanam
Bhajatam Pritipurvakam Bhajatam Pritipurvakam
Purvakam
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam
Yena Mamupayanti Te
Yena Mamupayanti Te
Tesham Satatayuktanam
Tesham Sadatayuktanam
Tesham Satatayuktanam
Tesham Sadatayuktanam
Bhajatam Pritipurvakam
Bhajatam Pritipurvakam
Bhajatam Pritipurvakam
Bhajatam Pritipurvakam
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam
Yena Mamupayanti Te
Yena Mamupayanti Te
Yena Mamupayanti Te
Yena Mamupayanti Te
Mataji's
Tesham Satatayuktanam
Bhajatam Pritipurvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mamupayanti Te Tesham Sadatayuktanam Bhajatam Pritipurvakam
Dadami Buddhi
Yogam Tam
Yena Mamupayanti Te
Tesham
Tesham
unto them
unto them
Sadatayuktanam
Satatayuktanam
always engaged
always engaged
Bhajatam
Bhajatam
in rendering devotional service
in rendering devotional service
Pritipurvakam
Pritipurvakam
in loving ecstasy
in loving ecstasy
Dadami
Dadami
I give
I give
Buddhi Yogam
Buddhi Yogam
real intelligence
real intelligence
Tam
Tam
that
that
Yena
Yena
by which
by which
Mam
Mam
unto me
unto me
Upayanti
Upayanti
come
come
Te
Te
they
Te
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So here, Krishna is so generous, He's ready to give Himself. And He gives Himself to the devotee, He becomes like their protector, like Draupadi. Everybody knows the story of Draupadi, how she was attempt was to make her naked in the assembly, to embarrass her. But Krishna wouldn't tolerate that. He protects his devotee. That's his promise. Kuntiya pratijanani name bhaktipanasati. My devotee will never be vanquished. Do we have to translate anything? Everybody knows English? So, this is the good fortune of being under the British. We learn English. In Australia and America. Okay, so how to keep ourselves fixed up like that? This is the struggle. Because the mind is material and the senses are material. And mind and senses will drag us away from Krishna. Because we want immediate gratification. It's like a 2-year-old child. You can't tell them, if you put a nice sweet in front of them, you can't expect them not to want it. This is it. So similarly, the mind and senses will be dictating to us. So what is higher than the mind and senses? One thing higher is the intelligence. That's also material, but if Prabhupada said, we're looking for first-class intelligent men who can understand this philosophy and apply it in their lives and get the realization. We have to come to the point of getting a higher taste, Param just in the taste. Without getting a higher taste, we're going to go back, like Prahlad said, chewing the chewed. Who knows that verse?
Puna puna charvita charvana.
Very good. See, he's smarter than me. Yeah. Chewing the chewed. Let's suppose you get some sugar cane on the street. You're chewing. There's no more sweetness. You spit it out. And somebody picks up. What are they going to get? The juice is gone. So material life is like that. It's chewing the chewed. There's no real substance. Therefore they get bored. Been there, seen that, done that. And they want to, they're not happy to just have ordinary sex life. They want something upside down, kinky sex life or something. This is the material world, full of perversion. So we want to finish up our business. And the biggest attachment is, of course, family. So we don't say you should just be callous to your family. You should love them best you can. Protect them, especially the men. The duty is to protect the women and the children. So we don't abnegate that responsibility. Like I was taking sannyas, there was another devotee there, he also wanted. Prabhupada said no. He didn't give him sannyas. He said, and now, he's a grihastha. So he can see, Prabhupada can see that most of us have to go through the grihastha ashram. Where's my disciples here? He's getting married soon. We're not against marriage. We love children. I love children.
Hare Krishna.
So, as long as they're not mine. No. Anyway, the point is, it's open for everybody. But there's some restriction. We give the example of the Olympic swimmer or Olympic runner. How much practice they have to do to get the gold medal. And they may not get it, right? Somebody will beat them because they have better natural ability. Even you practice, you still may lose. But Krishna consciousness, a little austerity, yeah. Like we recommend get up early in the morning. Early in the morning means before sunrise. Because that's the best time, Brahma Muhurta hour. Why is it best time? Because everybody's sleeping. Like in the room that I'm staying in your city here, that time of the morning is very quiet. But now, beep, 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 it's going on. But in the morning, peaceful as anything. So that's why there's a verse like that in the Bhagavad Gita. Time for awakening for the self-realized soul. It's time for others are sleeping. And then they wake up, they have to have coffee. We wake them up more. But we come to Mangalarti and we wake up. You have a program here? What time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock is good. Some people come? How many?
The weekends more people come. The weekdays 10.
At 5 o'clock they come. Yeah, little austerity. Not like Dhruva Maharaj, he had to undergo so much austerity, standing on his toes and, on one leg. And no, we don't have to do very austere. Sometimes Prabhupada said, I'm only asking you to give up poison. This oversleeping is poison. It doesn't help you get too much and then you become stupid. You become stupid. So, just giving up poison, illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, meat eating. In the beginning it was a little trouble for me, but now I see it. I wouldn't never go back to my bad habits. Because we get a higher taste. Param just a navarta taste. Okay? Let's do another part of the purport. These are wonderful purports Prabhupada is giving us. Purport. In this verse, the word buddhi yogam is very significant. We may remember in the second chapter, the Lord instructed Arjuna and said that he had spoken to him of many things and that he would instruct him in the ways of buddhi yoga. Now buddhi yoga is explained. Buddhi yoga itself is action in Krishna consciousness. That is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence, and yoga means mystic activity or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead, and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his action is called buddhi yoga. In other words, buddhi yoga is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of the material world. The ultimate goal of the progress is Krishna. People do not know this. Therefore, the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important. One should know that the goal is Krishna. And when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed, and the ultimate goal is achieved. So this is Prabhupada is encouraging us. As long as we have the goal in the front, we can make progress. And we can measure our progress. The progress can be measured especially from the negative side. Negative side means we're no longer addicted to the sinful life, illicit sex, intoxication, gambling. We see that these things just disturb our mind. They don't really bring us peace. We're looking for peace. Everyone wants to be happy and peaceful. But it's very difficult in this world, especially on your roads. But somehow, by chanting Hare Krishna in the morning, the cars are not moving like that. So you can be a little peaceful. Come here. I'm sure those who are coming at 5 in the morning, there's not a heavy traffic, right? So just come and get a higher taste. So for me, that was very important. I had to get a higher taste. And I did. I liked the kirtan so much. I liked the prasadam so much. And I liked the devotees so much. And that was even before meeting Prabhupada. And once I met Prabhupada, then I was sold. I thought, this person, he's like from another planet or something. The first thing he said to me, I was introduced by another devotee. Srila Prabhupada, this is our new bhakta. I was a new bhakta. Prabhupada said, thank you very much. I hadn't done anything. I just showed up. But that was Prabhupada's mood. He threw a big net. He wanted everybody, come on. Of course, many didn't stay. And sometimes Prabhupada said, at the end, if I made any mistake, it was I accepted too many nonsense disciples. So many have fallen down. That's unfortunate, but this is a free will, free misuse of independence. You're free to misuse your independence. Nobody can force you. That's a fact. But we see, by using your independence properly, then your future is very bright. Like I'm 84 years old. But people don't believe I'm so old. Because you know what? My eyes are bright because I see the future is there. I'm not afraid of the future. Most people my age, they have no future. They're just going to play with their grandchildren a little more and then die. They have nothing. Things are getting worse. The miseries are coming more. And so it's sweet 16 but bitter 60s. So we want to show by our example that no, old age is also joyful. I'm going like this, chanting and dancing, and I feel very enlivened. And I don't feel like an old man. And mainly because my future is bright. I'm going back to Godhead with your blessing. Please. Yeah, you already blessed me a little before. So this is the mood of the devotee. He wants to go back to Godhead. And he's ready to accept anything. Little trouble. Rise early. And that becomes joyfully performed. That verse is there. Chapter 9, text 2. Rajavidya
Rajaguhyam pavitram idamuttamam pratyakshavatam dharmyam susukam kartumavyayam.
Susukam. Very, very joyful. Not just joyful, but susukam. The process is very joyful. Once we get into it, once we get a taste for it, then everything we're doing is joyful. Prabhupada used to ask, sometimes people would ask him, are you people hippies? Hippie was those people with long hair, they didn't bathe, and they counterculture. They didn't like the culture. So some of our people came from hippie, and they joined us and shaved their head and so. So when Prabhupada was asked that, are you hippies? Prabhupada said, no, we're happies. This is it. We can be happy. Even old age is coming, even disease is coming, even death is coming. We saw Srila Prabhupada, we were there with him in the last days when he was leaving his body. He didn't want to show any miracle. He had that power. He demonstrated it once. I'll tell you the story. I heard it firsthand from the person. This person was originally a Sikh, but the police were looking for him. He was a criminal. So he shaved his head, put on tilak, and joined the Hare Krishnas. Police couldn't find him. It's a true story. So Prabhupada accepted him and engaged him. He was a little rough, but Prabhupada was engaging him in building the long building in Mayapur because the devotees were coming that year. So it must have been 74, 75. plane loads, I think it was 75, Mayapur 75. Plane loads of devotees were coming from the west, but there was no proper facility for them. And Prabhupada didn't want them just to sleep outside. He wanted, us Westerners were accustomed to sleep in a decent place. So the work was going on, and this person was in charge of the workers. Maybe they had like 40 Bengali workers. We were paying them something small and giving them all the food they wanted, and they were happy. But he knew how to work them. He was a boss. So one day, the work is going on very nicely, but one day the report came to Prabhupada. His name was Cheta Guru. Cheta Guru is sick today. He can't help Prabhupada. He can't work. And Prabhupada said, how will the work go on then? So he was concerned. So he went into this devotee's room. And the devotee was, high fever and everything. And he said, Prabhupada, I can't. I have this high fever. And then Prabhupada just moved his hand like that. The fever disappeared. So Prabhupada had that power. He could have saved himself, but no. You know why he didn't want to use it? Because then people would think he's God, like the Christians. The Christians make this mistake. Christ wasn't a very advanced yogi, but he wasn't God. But they thought he was God because he could walk on water and so many things. In our tradition, many yogis have these siddhis, they call it. They can do wonderful things. It doesn't make them God. So that's where the Christians are wrong. And Prabhupada didn't want people to think he was God. And so therefore he didn't perform any miracles. He said, when he was asked to show a miracle, he said, my miracle is I'm taking these drug-addicted boys and girls and turning them into lovers of Krishna. So that's what, I used to smoke marijuana, I used to smoke cigarettes. Nasty stuff. I was in the Navy, they practically gave us free cigarettes. And I got addicted. Actually quitting smoking is very easy. I did it 30 times. Because then you go back to it. But after taking Krishna consciousness, I had something better to do with my hand. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So now I can't even be around people who smoke. It disturbs me. So this is Prabhupada's miracle. We were ordinary Sudras with a bad character. But one thing I say, I was looking for some spiritual solution. And so when I met the devotee, I was very happy to have their association. And I quickly became a devotee. And I remember I had a dream, maybe after coming to the temple a couple of weeks. I had a dream. And in the dream, Krishna consciousness was in front of me, like a big, delicious sandwich. And all you had to do is bite it. But that's what it is. It's delicious from every side. But you have to take it. It's not going to come into your mouth by itself. You have to bite it. That means you have to get up early something. You have to chant with attention. Another story I'll tell you. I was coming to give massage to Srila Prabhupada, and I was fortunate to get that service when he was in London for 3 months. I was massaging him every day. It took 45 minutes to an hour. So I was coming to give him a massage, and now I forgot the story. There's so many stories of giving a massage. What did I say just before?
Chanting, we have to chant very attentively.
Oh yeah, that's the story. So I was waiting to give Prabhupada massage. He wasn't ready this day. And he said, just sit there and chant. So he was writing something, he had his head down, and I was chanting on my beads. And Prabhupada looked up. You listen when you chant? Yeah. So obviously I wasn't listening very well. So I was going to defend myself, natural tendency, and I was thinking, of course I listen, otherwise why am I doing it? That was my thoughts. But Prabhupada read my mind. No, he read my mind. The face of the index of the mind. He read my mind, and he said, I know you listen, but you have to listen very carefully, because This chanting is the whole essence of our philosophy. But this is a key that helped me over the years. Chant your japa with attention. Don't get sidetracked. Don't let your mind pull you away. And hear, the main thing is hearing. Hear the mantra very carefully. Then you get a higher taste. Krishna will reciprocate with you. And then you can't think of leaving because you have a wonderful thing that you've given to you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let's try to go. I have a lot of stories with Prabhupada. I could tell some of them. When a person knows the goal of life but is addicted to fruit of activities, he is acting in karma yoga. When he knows that the goal is Krishna but he takes pleasure in mental speculation to understand Krishna, he is acting in jnana yoga. And when he knows that the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in bhakti yoga or buddhi yoga, which is the complete yoga. The complete yoga is the highest perfectional stage of life. So we met such a perfected yogi, Srila Prabhupada, and he was telling us very carefully, you can also become like me. You can also become perfect yogi. It's not so difficult. It's available. Just be like me. Don't be me, but follow in my footsteps. So this way, we were very fortunate to meet such a pure devotee. Without meeting a pure devotee like that, it's very difficult. Because we need an example. We give the example of sometimes a child is brought up by the wolves. Little boy, instead of eating him, they brings him home to them. And the wolves take care of him instead of killing him. And when that boy reaches 10 or 12, he's still crawling on 4 legs. Because he doesn't see anybody else walking. But our children, then naturally they're going to walk because they see everybody else is walking. They fall down, they get up again. They walk. The point is, we need example. And Srila Prabhupada was that example. Acharya teaches by example. He was teaching by his example. Of course, we give instructions also. But everybody can take advantage of that. They're in those books. We want you to become Prabhupada conscious. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and be attached to a spiritual organization, but if he is still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instruction so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engaged himself in Krishna consciousness with love and devotion, renders all kinds of service. He should perform some work for Krishna, and that work should be done with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of the devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him. But Krishna is very kind. He's more eager to have us come back than we are to go. He's playing the flute. He's coming and speaking himself. Bhagavad Gita. He's sending his representative. Even we accept Muhammad and Jesus Christ. They're some kind of representative. They're bringing people out of the material world to some degree, so we should respect. Prabhupada had respect for Muhammad. And the followers may be, some of them may become fanatical, and we don't respect them for their fanaticism. But the idea is, yes, say a prayer 5 times a day. That's good. Train your children, right? They train their children. Isn't it? You see it in Muslims in this community? In where we just came from.
Madarsa. They have Gurukuls called Madarsa.
Yeah.
Christians have schools. They have.
So we want to be peaceful. We don't want to agitate them. I hear them in the morning. Their prayer comes into my room. But our prayer is better. Samsara dava lalita doka ekarina Pratasya kalyana gunana vasya Vande Guru Shri Karunaravinda Mahaprabhu ki Tananita Gita Ram Manusodasina Ramanchakam Sudaranga Bhadu Vande Guru Sri Ranada. Okay, so any questions on philosophy? What we read, and any questions in general? So we have some of books we brought that maybe now they can play. So these books this book was written by me. I have many photos in here with me with Srila Prabhupada. Of course, I'm always at his feet. I never thought I was equal to him in any way. He was always my superior. But sometimes the lessons he gave were very conducive for everybody. I'll tell you one quick story. Once I was giving massage, and when we give massage, at the end we come to the feet. So Prabhupada was a little dozing. You want to sit down, Prabhu? Prabhupada was a little dozing, and I quickly took his 2 feet and put them on my chest. And what was Prabhupada's reaction? His first reaction, he was shy. He felt a little shy and embarrassed that was happening to him because he had been dozing. But Prabhupada was so humble that he didn't expect to be honored like that. He knew it was a gesture of honor. But then I was looking right at his eye. We were sitting, I was holding his feet. So I was looking at his eyes, and I saw that shyness changed into acceptance. Like consciously, he said, well, he's my disciple. This is a gesture of humility. I should accept it. I saw that in Prabhupada's mind. Right? And then he accepted it. And I was still looking at him. And his eyes got brighter and brighter, and so bright I couldn't look. I had to look away. It was like they were on fire with the cooling fire. Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai. So we were so fortunate to have his association, and I've made some record of some of those exchanges. So if you take one of these books, we'll be happy. Who wants the first one?
We make a quick announcement, Maharaj.
Well, I just made an announcement.
Yeah, about the Lakshmi and...
Yeah, I can make that announcement also. We asked 20 rupees. 200. I was here a long time ago. 20 rupees was a lot.